Hello everyone, we're back again with another one. I hope you're all doing good and having a wonderful time. So we're back on BTC and we're looking at the chart currently. Right now we are looking at BTC, what we are anticipating from the market from a technical standpoint and also from a little bit of fundamentals and also sentimental analysis. So as we talked about on our previous video last week, we talked about what we're anticipating from a BTC. As I already talked about, I talked about this bullish leg coming into the market. We talked about we formed a previous all-time high. I talk about there will be a deeper correction, and what I'm anticipating is I'm anticipating BTC down to what? Down to 56,000 region. But you know, as the saying goes, you never know what could happen in the market. But as you already know, as I was talking about from a technical standpoint, we already took out several all-time highs almost 3 times. After we did that, and also we did that in a span of a week, we did that. And after that, we had that huge CPI release data, which was over almost 2 decades. So the consumer index was hiked more than what people were anticipating. So a lot of investors were running into BTC, hedging against inflation and all sort of stuff. But as you already keep in mind, it was a huge FOMO in the market, especially on the crypto market. Everyone was saying inflation, this, inflation, that, and all sort of stuff. And as you already know, whenever everyone is doing something, that's when you should be more skeptical about doing it. Now, what I mean to say is not we like BTC is gonna go on a bearish run or whatever. You know, BTC is still in a clean bullish circle, but put that in mind, bullish circle. That doesn't mean that immediately we're gonna see a huge pump on BTC. So from a technical standpoint, we've already took out that high and odd. The release data came out and pushed that hike. So we already know that this was a huge trap move by the big investors in the market. As you already know, the big investors are getting into BTC, but what they are doing in the BTC is like they are accumulating, not getting in for the next huge pump. So this is time for what? This whole structure that you are seeing. This is what we call positioning in the market. It's just like if we put it in a bigger time frame, it could be just a clean accumulation pattern. I promise you that. So after that, we had that. So from a technical standpoint, as you already know, we talked about that we're gonna have that huge decline down to this area of imbalance in the market and sort of stuff. So and I already talked about. I said that I was anticipating a pullback around this region or this region. So we had that first decline around this region. What we pushed out, we took out all the orders above this level, and what we tapped at 66,000 region. After we tapped at 66,000 region, what we had that huge decline. And what we tested around that 65,000 region also, and what we had that huge sell-off. As you already, if you go down into a lower time frame, you can see what was really going on. So what I was talking about from a technical standpoint, BTC is gonna go down, but what that doesn't mean we're in a bearish trend, but what we are on a short-term reaccumulation, meaning we are going to see market going in from the opposite direction in the market from a short-term perspective. So what I'm anticipating, as you already know, from a technicals never lies, and already the technical has already said we have this parallel channel, which indicating what a parallel breakout for the downside in the market. But what we are this is an overall reaccumulation structure from a Wyckoff's standpoint. So we are already stacked up enough liquidity above. We have already took a lot of order, a lot of liquidation. So what they need now, what the bigger investors in the market are now positioning in the market, and what they need more lower prices in the market so that they can invest. Like they won't need to buy at more cheaper price on BTC. So this is what the simple logic going on. So now yesterday we had that huge pump to the upside, right? And what causes this decline from a fundamental perspective, as you already know? Last week we had yesterday, I think earlier today in the morning or something, yesterday you can say, there's a news that came out from this was the news that came out by Twitter. The CFO on Twitter was stating that this was the headline: Bitcoin loses its ground. Twitter CFO rules out that crypto investment was like a risky investment, and Twitter are looking on something more stable investment like the bonds and more. So like they're saying that from their investment sheet, that they are looking more into so they made an anti-crypto statement actually. So they were stating that from what their investment portfolio should be was they are more into less volatile assets. So they are more into bonds, in the dollar index and all sort of stuff. So as you already know, that also began to push a lot of selling pressure on BTC. So a lot of like a selling decline was huge because that statement itself it's a huge, like a red statement to be made on BTC, and especially coming out from the CFO of Twitter, which is Ned Senegal, saying that investment cash in holding into crypto asset like Bitcoin doesn't make sense right now. So you see the statement, selling began during an early Asian session. So I would like, it was quoted on social media that Twitter giant CFO Ned saying that investment cash in holding into crypto assets like Bitcoin doesn't make sense right now. Seagal stated that the price volatile and lack of while like it was a risky assets to be in, like for at the moment it's not the right time to be on BTC. So what he's simply stating from that statement is like, whoa, yeah, we are still, like, we still want BTC right now, but at this moment we feel like BTC is like a little bit more expensive for us, or it's like a little bit too high or overboard. That's simply what the takes on the statement is. It's not that Twitter are saying, oh, BTC, we're now going to invest in BTC and all this sort of stuff. No, but what he's stating is like, okay, yeah, we're going to invest in BTC, but at the current market price right now that we are seeing, BTC is not a right investment at the moment. It doesn't make sense to us to buy BTC at 67,000 or at 68,000. No, it doesn't make sense for us. So for what we are investing on Twitter, we more want to be on what stable assets that are not overbought or are not too expensive at the moment. That's simply what their take on the statement that he made on. But that statement itself also causes that huge decline because of what Twitter coming out saying that at this current moment with a lot of what, if you already know, as I was talking about earlier on the previous video also, that what there was a if you check out the like a fear and greed index, sentimental index, you can see we're still on the greed radar. So still people are still greedy on BTC. So people are still putting money into the crypto market in general. Everyone is thinking that the next moment is going to happen next week, next month, who knows. But as you already know, what you should, my whole take on this is like yeah, we're still bullish on BTC overall. We're still in a bullish circle. But what you should keep in mind is like we're gonna have a deeper correction currently. As we already from the technicals, we already have this parallel channel that was formed earlier, as I was stating. And what I talk about this area in general. I talked about this level in the market. I talk about this level in general in the market. I talk about this level in general in the market. I said this was a huge liquidity that has been pulled out in the market. So all the buy stuff has been already induced in the market. So what you should keep in mind, all the whales and all the big money now, they are dumping BTC for real. And what is not, it's not that they are dumping it and they're just leaving it for, but it's like a time while they buy, it's like accumulation. So they need more selling pressure so that they can buy it when it's more cheaper. And as you have already know, if you look at this pattern that was already a clean, perfect pattern, we had this huge decline, and we had another parallel trend line channel inside that parallel channel also inside a channel. So what? This is enough confirmation to tell you that okay, from a technical standpoint, this looks very bearish. And as you already know, I talk about it. I always tell people like you look at the market how it's supposed to be looked, not the way you want it to be. So as I already know, I saw a lot of people pumping out BTC. I said if we haven't broke this region of 66,000 region, I'm still bearish on BTC at the moment on a short-term perspective. That doesn't mean that I'm thinking BTC is gonna go below 50,000. Nah, I don't think it's possible for BTC to go anything lower than 50,000 currently with the current market that we are in, because BTC going below 50,000, that's a lot of. And also if we went back to the news, as you already know, there was a lot of statement that has been bills that has been pushed by Biden against taxation on BTC also, which is like one of the statement was stated here. Let me take a look. Yeah, there was a bill that was pushed by what was signed by the U.S. President Joe Biden again about the infrastructure of what providing revenue from all crypto traders. Any transaction above 10,000 should be like recorded, and there should be a lot of taxation reported and challenges against investors. So that being said, also in the market, when you look at what the statement that was made by the Twitter's CFO was that it was like controversial, and what that put traders in general to take a little bit of risks up and bought into more stable asset like the rise, and like this statement actually made a huge rise on the dollar index. So that being said, also when we get back to the technicals, what we're anticipating right now is we're anticipating a huge more decline. So I'm talking about we're gonna see a little bit more of choppiness around this region. We might test this level again, then we're gonna push it again. And this is where I'm anticipating. What after I had this, we're gonna see something that looks like this again. we might go above here at this region. We might consolidate a little bit more, push above here, and what we can see another decline down to this side. So keep this in mind. For the short term, as we are currently right now on BTC, we're still bearish, and we're not like this is not the time for you to take the next buy and thinking that you bought the dip. No, if you bought BTC right now, I give you like a 60% chance you bought another. You're gonna be in more dip shit that you already been. So that being said, we're still bullish on the BTC. So I hope you all understand this video, and also I haven't taken much time talking about BTC. Anyway, guys, please check the link on the description. We have a Discord server there, so you can join it. It's a free group there where we share about trading ideas, we share about spot futures trades, and also gems on other low altcoins that you can take advantage of while this bloodbath is going on in the market. I hope this video was quite helpful. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hope you have a wonderful time. Thank y'all.